And we are live. Hello, everybody. My name's Dom. I'm CEO and product manager at Chuff Solutions. What that means is I take apps and I take ideas and I turn them into apps. Now, things are a bit different, so this is throwing me off a little bit. I am not in my flat in London. I am currently in Edinburgh. So I've got myself a little setup on my laptop. Hopefully this is going to do well. I thought the lighting was going to do me favours, but unless I'm here, the lighting's terrible. You can see how sweaty I am as well. I've just been out for a walk. So, what are we doing? I've been offline for a few days, mainly because my computer died and I had to get this new laptop. All kinds of things happened essentially, and obviously, look, I'm in Edinburgh at the moment, but this is the first chance I'm getting to stream, so let's go ahead and do one. So as I said, I like to turn ideas into apps, and with that, I want to create prototypes, I want to create MVPs. What I want to do in my offering is sort of take people for that journey of taking an idea, figuring out what problem needs to be solved, what are the jobs to be done, how are we going to connect with that user and deliver value, and then go from there into some form of digital product. Now that is all great and fantastic, and all good things to be done. But these things obviously require some technical building. Now with MVPs, I always say like an MVP can be anything, right? It can be a monthly email. An MVP could be a newsletter for your letterbox. But it could also be a Reddit forum. It could be so many things, but sometimes it comes to the simple fact that you just need to build something, build a tool that solves a problem directly. And when we talk about product decisions, and I want to do more videos on products and talking about products, which I might do over this weekend. Actually, I've got a bit of time, so I might well do those. But one of the things we talk about is good product decisions, i.e., what do you build, come out of an intersection of three things. What is it the user needs? What are the goals of the business? And what technology do you have available? So let's just sort of forget about the first two and talk about technology available. Now, this is why you sort of see a big sort of push into no-code solutions, because there are people like me who are trying to build solutions and do want to get something out quickly just to see if people will use it as a proof of concept, for example, or to set up an experiment or something along those lines. And with that, this is kind of how I'm ended up in this sort of Flutter space, right? I think it's a really amazing technology that will be able to take me from, an idea that I've kind of, just managed to sort of manifest or work through and workshop, and go from there and then say, right, I'm ready to build something. And in the cases where it can't just be a landing page, it can't just be an email blast or whatever, this is where sort of Flutter comes in to help me out with this. So one thing I thought about, one thing that I find I end up building over and over again when I worked for other companies building MVPs and prototypes and proof of concepts and stuff like that, one thing I kept finding is that I kept building the same things over and over again. And I was quite amazed that no one fully sussed out this problem. And I think Firebase, the reason I went down the route of using Firebase was they sort of partly fixed this thing, which is like, and what we're going to talk about today is authentication, and that authentication in itself is very much a thing that kind of gets rebuilt over and over again. Firebase offers this great thing where it's like, oh hey, by the way, you can have all of the business logic, all of that stuff built in, and you just need to call it. So what I thought might be useful is just to sort of have a bunch of starter screens that has all the things that you need to do authentication. Now I need to do a bit of jiggery pokery, so bear with. Hopefully that's not gone too crazy. Whilst I move this down into my screen down here. Also give this tablet some power as well. Battery saver is on, consider plugging in. Am I seriously that low on battery? Yes I am that low on battery. let's change some things around. Okay. Hopefully my second. I mean, we've got an hour. I think an hour would do us just fine. Okay. Let's jump into here. Now, I haven't set up my why is that not working now? Is it because I've got... Oh, there we go. Okay, so just as a quick overview of what we're trying to achieve here, this is all standard login stuff. So you can just go to Google and just go login, or even better, authentication, UI flows. Go to images, and then it's just all this stuff, right? You can just go to one of these things, click on it, and you can see all of the things that they've got in there. You know, all of the elements that sort of exist. So I've sort of done that, and I've sort of created this. Now, what I'm going to make isn't going to be exactly like this. I'm going to try and use all of the tools available to me out of the box. And this is something I've learned from doing Django Web Framework. That Django has a whole bunch of things that come out of the box. And rather than trying to re-engineer it or trying to create it in your own way, actually just using those basic things is, you know, it gets you sort of 70% of the way there really, really quickly. And that's sort of the point with an MVP. I've worked with a lot of people, and maybe you're watching this and you're sitting there thinking, oh, I disagree with what he says. But my point that I want to get to is that, you know, your MVP needs to be built as quickly as possible. You know, my always attitude is if you can't build an MVP in 2 days, it's not an MVP. Whereas I have, you know, worked with a lot of clients who are like, oh, we want to build an MVP, we're going to spend 6 months on it, right? There's just forget it completely. But it's all about what's available to you, and this is the sort of point of building this, that if I build this once and it's sort of good to go in all of the projects I work on, I can sort of build up these things. So let's sort of start here at the beginning. I will share this Figma file in the description. It's not there at the minute, but I will update it because it's going to go on my website. But here we've got a simple login page. Now, if you watched the stuff to do with my daily task app, it's just an extension on that. But you probably noticed there was a lot to do there. So we've got a login page to start off with. That login page will take us to the home page if we successfully log in. If we don't successfully log in, it will sort of give us an error to say no account found, of which you can just enter the details again and try and log in again. If that successfully gets to the home page. And then we have some validation we need to do, which I didn't have in my other one. So if, doing a check if this is a valid email address, and then doing checks on password sort of complexity and stuff like that. From there, we have sign up. So we go from login, and there's a button that says don't have an account, sign up. And we can sign up here. And equally, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. I think maybe I'm a little bit too zoomed out. And equally, we have already have an account, and then that sort of brings you back here again. So from here, you hit register, and then that takes you also to the home screen. Now, I've created these 2 interim pages here and here. And basically, what the idea behind these pages are is that once you click this button, these fields become disabled, and then the button also sort of gives you this feedback saying, hey, I'm creating an account, or in a login, you get signing in. Last of all, though, if you forget a password, there will be a reset password where you can put your email address in, click the link, and then it will email you the whole thing. And Firebase takes care of all of that. Again, leverage the things that are available to you. Get to that 50, 60, 70% out of the gate as quickly as you can. You'll be surprised. People. It's interesting because I find a lot of people have trepidation when it comes to it's not perfect. But here's the weird thing, like, you never get there, right? You never get to perfection. It's so tough. And it's just too ambitious and it's too foolhardy. And the phrase that gets repeated a lot is don't let perfect get in the way of good, right? If you've got something that's good, go with it. And right, it might be a bit rough around the edges, but people will forgive it, you know? We have this idea that bad things that aren't perfect, or things that may be a little bit rough around the edges when it comes to design, that people are just going to immediately ditch it and forget about it. It's just not true. Seltzer. Right, okay. So this is what we're going to go with. And today we are going to probably start off with the login page, right? And we've done this already, right? So, well, I've done this already, but I thought I would just go through it again. Because I remember taking the login page and we copied it to the sign up page. Is there an opportunity to reuse some of these things? Because, you know, this widget here, email field, password field, this has to have some validation on it, this has validation on it, will be the same for this here. Maybe, maybe not. I think what we do is just sort of code the whole thing as is, as separate screens, and then if we find an opportunity to clean up that code, then we do it, you know, when that's necessary. So, one thing I am going to do, and I forgot to do this, and I just remembered, but I'm going to do it now because I'm not going to go another sort of bunch of work without doing this stuff. And that is, I want to create a logbook for Flutter on its own. Now, I don't want to use my main blog to do this. What am I doing? I don't want to use my... there we go. I don't want to use my main blog to do this. I kind of want to separate this stuff out and create my own blog, but actually it's my logbook, which is what a blog is really. You know, it's short for weblog, and a book that you have a weblog in, i.e., you know, logbook. But I think I want to talk a little bit more sort of high level things over there, and then when I get into specific things, then, you know, I think it's worth kind of creating another page. So here we are in Squarespace, and this isn't a Squarespace introduction at all, by any means. That's not the purpose of this, but let's go into pages. We've got blog, main navigation. Let's create we've got blog, page layout. Okay, blogs, here we go. Add blog. What should I go with? I think I can change all this stuff afterwards. Let's just go with this one for now. There we go. And we're going to call this the Flutter Flutter logbook. Okay. So the idea is, let's delete that. Delete that, and delete that. So, okay, right, we're back here. So let's go in and create a new one. And we're just going to call this posts. Actually, we don't need to put the whole authentication starter pack. Okay, cool, right. And then all I'm going to do is go away. And then all I'm going to do is basically I'm just going to type here when I need to do stuff, right? Once I learn stuff. So our goals for today, really. So we want to create a login page and connect to Firebase. Right, and that's all we're going to do. Right, that's it. We're going to just sort of stay it there, keep it there for now. I'm going to quickly also go to my GitHub and go to my last one, which was dailies. Because we've got stuff here that can help us out because we create a lot of this stuff already. Let's have a look. Yeah, so we've got actions, the home screen sign in or sign up actually. I'm going to do sign up first so that we can create accounts in our app. So yeah, we can kind of take stuff from here that's going to help us out. I mean, it's not a lot of code here really, you know. So let's get started. So first things first is that we're going to create a new project, and then we'll have a directory. We'll put all files in a single directory, and then what we're going to do with that is just upload that to GitHub, right? So all I do when I create it, I can create that folder, go into that folder, and then clone that project down to my machine, and then I've got all my authentication done in terms of just sort of stuff that's out of the box. There we go. Okay, so we are going to use this as a reference. So we're going to say, cancel that. I'm going to hit the wrong button there. Reference. There we go. Cool. So let's go over to. I think I've closed it. Indeed. Okay, let's go to VS Code. We should have everything set up, hopefully. There we go. Everything should be set up, so we should be good to go. And in here is a test one, I think. Yeah, here we are. This is my test windows. So a little bit different from before. I've installed all the packages I've needed in order to, rather than doing it on web and rather than creating the Android emulator, which I've sort of found as being a bit of a sticking point, I've actually gone fully ahead and just said, right, that's it, I'm just going to do the Windows. And it seems to work out really nicely. You sort of get a full desktop thing, but, you know, there we go. We can hopefully resize that stuff. But also, it kind of gives us a chance to do some responsiveness as well, because this is also part of the goals, and I need to write goals for this, really. I'll get those pages updated, and that way we can sort of communicate those ideas a little bit better. So I'm not going to do this just now. I'm going to go to the, whoops, I'm not going to go to that. We're going to go to the command palette and go new project. We have an application. We don't want test windows. Let's create a new folder, and we're going to call this, we'll call it the same thing, Authentication Starter Pack. Okay, there we go, and we're going to save it in here. And we'll call the same thing here, Authentication, whoops, Starter Pack. Actually, I'm creating this, actually. Let's do that again. Maybe we'll create a package instead. Hopefully this isn't going to come back to bite me and bum. Authentication starter. Oh, I can't do that. Authentication starter. Alt pack. There we go. Let's create that. Right. How long have we been? 20 minutes. Okay. We might not go the full hour, to be honest. Mainly because I'm hungry and it's already sort of pushing for time. Really, we're at 8 o'clock already. Actually, that sun's started to. Oh my, there you go. Now it's too bright and it's not. It's just peeking over there. And I've messed up all of the exposure on the camera now. Oh dear. Shouldn't have done that. Okay, fantastic. Here we go. Go to lib. And oh, maybe I should create application actually. How do I get rid of this? I'm going to get rid of that. And I should have started with application. Totally turned on before test windows. Where did I save that? Documents, Flutter. I mean, I should have saved it here really. So new folder. Oops. Authentication. Starter. Pack. Okay, there we go. So we created that, and let's just sort of do this again. Command palette, new project. Let's do application. And then do authentication. Starter. Pack. Okay. This is pushing my computer for sure. So I'm hoping that the stream is okay. If not, I'm going to have to figure another way out to do this. Anyway, here we are running. Which is great. So let's hide this to start off with. And then close that like that. Cool. And then let's get rid of. Here we are, right? So I've selected Windows Desktop, like so. Let's run this main and get that going. And now this light is absolutely plaguing me. Not a good time of day to do this. Probably not a good location, to be honest. So we're just going to go through and make that. All right, interesting. Because the last test I did to make sure this worked fine, and now this one isn't. Make list project, no make XX compiler can be found. Huh. Let's have another go at that. Because this will be annoying, because it's when I just had it working. No, same error. So immediately, let's go to Google. No, not Calendly. There we go. I'm really not sure. Let's sort of just close that down for a second. Let's cancel that, cancel that. Go in here. This folder is empty. Weird, considering I just made a thing. Get rid of that. Documents. Authentication starter pack. Weird. Lot of weirdness happening. Not a great place to be starting the stream off with. And my computer is definitely having issues. Right, let's put up the terminal. Flutter test windows. That's because I put it in test windows. I put it in the wrong place. Hang on 2 seconds. Let's do this again. Test, Flutter, Authentication starter pack, create part. Yep, okay. Authentication. Okay, hopefully this is going to sort things out. Project's ready, cool. Let's run main. If we go over to the folder, yeah, here we go. Okay, we've got everything in here. Okay, it's getting a little bit further at least, which is nice. We are going to get to we're half an hour already. This is what happens. Like it's like I should take an hour, and then you sort of spend ages on it. Okay, things seem to be building. Whilst it's doing that, and I guess probably because I put the other one in the folder where I already had a project, maybe that was the issue. But in lib, I've just got main here. So we can create a new folder, like so, and we can call that authentication. Okay, like so. Okay, and then in here is where we're going to create everything. So really this is where we need to sort of create our Gits. So let's go into Git bash, like so, and our application's started now, and things are starting to get very, very choppy on my laptop now. So we're going to open up Git bash, but let's come back over to here. And here we go, and interestingly it opens it as default into this view, but we can resize it and get our mobile view. There we go. There's obviously a breakpoint there now, which is quite interesting. But let's sort of make this somewhat the same size as the view here, so we're a little bit like what my setup normally is. Right, yeah, and our app is running fantastically. Right, we have opened up 3 windows of Git Bash, which doesn't really help. So yeah, so we're going to want to cd into that particular directory, which is in documents, for me anyway, documents, Flutter, Authentication Starter Pack, Authentication Starter, right, it's created 2, and then, nope, nope. Oh, actually, maybe it's, oh, I have to go into lib from here. Oh, whoops. Let's just go to Flutter first of all, and then into Authentication Starter Pack. And then, okay, that just takes us straight into there. And then we can go into lib. And then authentication. Okay, so this folder here, for me anyway, Authentication Starter Pack is where I started the folder, the project. And in the lib folder, in authentication, essentially, that's where all of our stuff is going to go. With that, I'm going to go with a better naming convention than I had last time, to be honest. So I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to call this registration. There we go. Cool. Excellent stuff. Let's lower it down. Let's just get rid of this for a minute. And when I update it, then I'll stick it on there. And also come to my Twitter @chuffdon, and I'll sort of update on there too, like a lot of the things that I'm creating and using. So we've created registration now. So a couple of things I think we need to do really is, first of all, get rid of the default app. So let's go to material app, or even then here we've got home is const to my home page. Da-da-da-da-da. Let's get rid of that for a minute. Get rid of my home page. So we've just got that basic project in there. Get rid of this. We'll get rid of themes as well. Or will we? Theme data promise wash colours blue. Okay, let's get rid of that. And we'll put this as just a starter app, because there will be other things as well that I want to add in here, right? So, like for example, profile, right? There's always the similar things in profile. Profile picture, first name, last name, email address, change email, change passwords, blah blah blah. All that stuff is good stuff to sort of get in and get done. The light is absolutely fighting me right now. Pick the worst time. Look at that. Whitest I've ever looked. Right. Where are we? Okay. So, here's our basic app. We have nothing calling from home, right? So we do need to put something in here, and that thing is going to be our authentication. So let's come over here and import that now. So import, and we call that one registration loop. Let's try that one again. No, it's not finding it just yet. Okay, let's not do the import just yet then. Let's come over to that file. Right, I've got it over here. Has the widget inspector gone in the way? It has indeed. Let's kind of pull that off and stick that here. Okay, cool. So let's do our standard stuff. Imports. And we're going to do Flutter material. Like that. Cool. And then we're going to have a whole bunch of other stuff to do, but we're just not going to quite get there just yet. We're just going to kind of build this basic framework and start up a new instance. And what I would like to do is well, I don't know if that's possible. But what I want to do is separate up the Firebase setup and configuration away from this. So I can dump this in, do my Firebase setup, and then I've got authentication ready to go. So I don't have to do that. I can just do stateful widget like so. And this widget is going to be registration. So do I do registration? What's for doing that? Yeah, let's just go with that. That needs to be that registration. Oops. There we go, registration. No, I did not need to do that. There we go. Okay, and then down here we obviously need to return from this build. And what we're going to return is going to be a scaffold, because we have that material widget in there. So we're going to return a scaffold like so. Oops. Okay, and then what we need for this, we go body, constant modifier. Is that what it should be? That. It should be that. So we first start off with @bar dots. No, just @bar, right? Yeah, cool. I think that's what we've gone for in the past. In fact, we can come back here again and go just refer to this. Yeah, @bar title, set title. Okay, let's do that. So we're going to go title, and again let's just do starter. Oops. Yeah, starter app, and this has to be a text. Boot to you. This has to be a text widget. So load out consts, and then the next thing to do will be center aligned. No, what was it called? Center title. I am in the actual title attribute. Actually, I need to be here. Just do center title and set that to true. Okay, so first things first is that we're going to have some form of declaring global state, right? And one of those declarations of global state will be what is the name of the app. Okay, so we can put that in here in creating a new app. There items with placeholder names, or setting a global app name. So that's something to dwell over. So we can actually create a to-do here. And in the to-do we can say, can we get app name as created in project. Okay, so that might be a way of doing it. So as I call my app something, rather than saying I'll use the title name, actually can't actually have to find a functional class that would do that. Let's move on though, because I don't think that's wholly important. That's again something we can come back to and improve. Okay, fantastic. Let's go back again to what I created before, just to see where we went to. So we did center, gave that some padding, blah blah. Okay, well now we kind of get into the main meat and bones of it, right? And this is in the body of scaffold. So let's go with that. I think it does have to be that. Does it? Weirdly, it causes a fuss about that. Probably because I'm missing a parentheses like that. There we go. This is currently broken, so it's not going to be working. Yeah, I haven't updated. Okay, cool. Right, well, we're there at the minute. This is good. We've got at bar here. So after at bar, we then want to create body, like so. Now what we want to return is essentially now our UI, right? So let's go over to the UI and have a look at what we got. So everything is sort of center aligned. So this is going to be a widget, this is going to be a widget, this will be one text field widget, this will be another text field widget. Then we've got a button, and then we've got this sort of text down here. So we're all sort of aligned center. This text will be forced to be aligned to right. Padding again along here. So center, then padding, and then we will have list view of all of these things. So going from here, so going from icon to sign up, email, this. Okay, and that's going to be an image actually. And we're going to leave this out for a minute. I do have an SVG to add in, but I think I may have to leave that for another one. Again, we're at 44 minutes, so we're sort of getting on for time already. But let's sort of leave that for a minute. Let's go back to the code. So everything was center aligned, like so. And everything from that was then had some padding. And the padding will put edge inserts all, which would be a good one. And let's put it in a 16 for now. We can see how that changes. Overall, we're going to definitely need a const somewhere in all this. There we go. And let's put in some commas. And we can get formatted. There we go. So we're going to have some padding. Padding is then going to have its own child, of which we're going to have list view. List view. There we go. Awesome. Now one of the things we're going to have to need here is children. There we Right, so first of all, we're going to have some kind of image. Actually, let's leave that out. I didn't mention I'm going to leave that out. The first thing we are going to do is have some text. And I know what it's going to do, so let's do a const text. And then we're going to have a sign up. So, and then we're going to have our two form fields. Then we have some kind of button. Then we're going to have the text at the bottom. But we are. Where's the escape key in this? No, that's it. Oh my god, is it a function key? No, that's not what I want to do. I've got this funky keyboard that I'm using. And it doesn't make sense. Anyway. What is this missing? Why is this causing a fuss? This. Yeah. And then this needs to be a const. And this needs to be as I had it before, like so. Okay. No, not that. This. Ah. Maybe it is that. Alright, fair enough. Let's hit save. Now, we should be able to just import this in now, right? Import authentication registration .dart, and then home is going to be our registration method class even, like so. So let's save that. Let's go over here, and here we are. Yeah, cool. Right, we're done. We've got our first sort of piece in here. We've kind of got this coming in now, which is great. Now let's try and. I would like to keep this on top. So let's do that. Something like this. How does that look? Oh, that looks alright. Okay, let's go with that. So let's come back to the registration. That means as we sort of say things, it will be kind of cool. And it will sort of reflect. So one of the things that we can do is add a style. And this is where I always forget how to do it. Theme of context, I think it was. Theme dot of theme dot of yeah, here we are. Theme of context dot text theme dot body medium. Right, something in here is wrong. Invalid const value. Get rid of that. This is what happens with all the const stuff. Let's save on that one. Right, nothing changed, but I think we're actually explaining that, expecting that. Let's go display large and see what that looks like. That's well big. That's what that looks like. Let's go display small. Okay, it's still kind of big. Yeah, I'm not happy with that. How about heading 1? Oh, heading 1 is just display. Oops. Headline even, heading. Let's go That's a pretty good size. Let's leave it as that for now. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Now we obviously don't have sort of the proper spacing in here. We'll add the image in and then we can figure out how to do that. I think let's just sort of crack on for now. We want to put 2 text fields in after this. Text fields. And then text field again. Okay, and then these 2 are going to be email as username, that one, and password input, like so. Okay, so those are those 2 things that need to go in. Right, let's do that, and let's do that. Now for the password one, we are going to have to do the hidden, whichever, whatever it's called. What's it called? It's definitely gone past that. Obscure text. That's it. Obscure text. And I'm going to put in true. True. There we go. Cool. And then I think it's label on that one. Let's go back to what I did before. Just to decoration, borderline, output border, label text. Password. Okay, let's copy that. Come back here. And let's just paste that in, like so. Let's get rid of that const there. And like so. For this one, we've got nothing in there. Let's save that real quick. And there we go. Okay, cool. Right, we've got a thing. And we can also click it and do things to it. Now I've got this weird line, that's because I've done nothing with this text field here. So let's kind of copy this one. And again, I think there is definitely an argument to be made that you can adjust these in a way so that you can actually sort of say, like, for example, this is what a text box looks like. Put all the stuff in there and then call it when you need it. Do all your customization at the top level, and then you can call it further down. Very true, we can do that. But I think what's best is actually just to do it and then figure out what you'll constantly be using, and where would it be advantageous. So let's put email in here, hit save. There we go. Cool, so we have sign up, email, password. There we go, and that all comes in nicely. How are we doing for time? 54 minutes. Okay, I think we're not going to get to setting up 5.8 today. So that can be tomorrow's stream. But we've kind of got this working, which is nice. What we want to do as well is add some size boxes in here. So const size box. Then we'll put this as a height of let's go 15. let's brand this and put it in between these two as well, just to give it a bit of breathing room. Padding definitely needs to be a little bit more. Let's go 30, maybe, or that too much. Oh no, actually, that's all right. This one also has to be a bit more, so let's do 21. Oops. Okay, cool. And if we go back to design, actually that's quite a lot of breathing room there. Colour is definitely a lot lighter. Much harsher radius on the box. Okay, let's go over to, let's put 30 in this one. And let's put 30 in that one. Let's say, okay. Bit more breathing room, which is good. We're going to have to put a button in here as well, but let's leave that there for now. Because I think we're getting, you know what, let's just stick a button in. It won't take long. Famous last words. Alright, let's put that in there. Oh, a second there. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. Oh, so I must have hit C rather than copy. There we go. And then we wanted a elevated button. On pressed, I'm just going to send an anonymous function for that. Child, I believe, is the name of the text on the button itself. Of course. Sign. I think that's right. Yes, okay, cool. Right, okay, we've got nothing on pressed here, and there's really no point in doing this because we need to do our email controllers and stuff like that. So this one is just setting up the page, and let's sort of just leave it there. I mean, we've hit our hour, great place to stop. And I will upload this to GitHub as well, so if you want to grab it from there, that's fantastic. Let's just sort of correct some of these issues that are coming up. Save that. Save that. There we go. Now, not quite looking like our design, but I'm not going to get too much into the details of this. There will be elements where I will have to do. There will be elements where I will clean the stuff up so it does look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Not a huge amount, I'm not going to go crazy with it, but as long as it looks all right, then we're good. And yeah, cool, there we go. So in this one, what we managed to do was create a form, put the elements in there, create that new project, and yeah, and that's just really kind of about it, really. Tomorrow what we'll do, we'll go through the Firebase side of things, we'll create a new project. From the new project, we will then connect the two up so we can use this page to create users. And that's sort of the goal of tomorrow. But apart from that, thanks very much for joining me. You can come and reach me at chuffeddom on Twitter and on GitHub as well. Get that branding right. I think I want to change his channel name to that as well. But yeah, you can reach me there. Give me a shout. Please do. I don't mind backseat coders at all, so just drop something down in the comments if you want. But this is going to probably be the next week or so on this alone. Maybe